G'day, wonderful listeners. This is episode 48 of Trev's Talk, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I left off talking about the end of this world as we know it, and of its renewal to one of no wars, plagues, floods, mourning, or pain. A better world of peace. Peace for everyone. I don't know about you, but I, for one, look forward with eager anticipation for such a world of true peace. I believe that beautiful world will arrive after the fulfillment of the 10 secrets of Medjugorje. However, the world is going to suffer wars, plagues, floods, mourning and pain until we, the people, realise our grave mistake of ignoring Jesus or God. We must take on board the requests Our Lady is asking of us through the visionaries at Medjugorje. Our Lady has told the visionaries we are going to have a simpler world. She has also told them that she will not appear again after this series of apparitions at Medjugorje. So that is another clue about one world ending and the beginning of a renewed world. When the renewed world comes, there will be no need for Our Lady's apparitions to give messages or secrets. That renewed, more simple world will have everyone honouring and respecting Jesus or God. In the meantime, we must move on with our lives, trying to carry out Our Lady's requests as best we can and be the best version of ourselves we can possibly be. Now, backpedaling a bit, I have to tell you that Sheikh Mohammed of the Perth Mosque has not yet come back to me on whether his mosque committee have agreed to support my Moody Scholarship Fund project with an annual donation and formally agree to be a co-founder. I will just have to wait a little longer on the Muslims' part of the 3 great Abrahamic faiths I'm trying to unite. The Aboriginal school, which is to be the beneficiary of the project, is represented by Pete, the principal, and he emailed me yesterday with the names of 2 students the school selected to be the initial kids to benefit from scholarships. Pete is setting everything in place for the project to launch in the first weeks of school next year. I will present really nice framed certificates to the 2 kids being awarded and get photos of the presentation, which I can post on social media. I will also see if I can get a reporter from a local newspaper to take interest in the project's launch. I've sent emails to the Christian component of the Muslim, Jew and Christian project. I've had dealings with both the Anglicans and Catholics previously with my Moodage Food Patrol. The Food Patrol distributes ready-to-heat meals to struggling families and homeless, mainly Aboriginal. The Anglicans and Catholics have been supporting the Food Patrol for several years now, thanks to the patronage of Anglican Archbishop Kay Goldsworthy and the Catholic Auxiliary Bishop Don Sproxton. In the emails I sent them, I asked if they would redirect their annual financial support from the Food Patrol to the Scholarship Fund project and become co-founders. The way their funds are paid out, it will take a few weeks for their contributions to arrive, but I feel confident they will come on board. So that means I need to get some more financial support for the Food Patrol, as the Anglicans and Catholics will now be missing from that project. I will reach out to my friend Phil at Cannington Toyota and see if he can help me approach some supporters like how he helped us in the past. Getting to meet with Progressive Jew I can try to bring on board with the Moody Scholarship Fund project has been difficult. I've been hitting block after block so far. Rabbi Freilich, I mentioned in episode 46, has not replied to my hopeful email of weeks ago, so I think I can write him off as a supporter. Also, Rabbi Kim of the Temple David has not replied to my email of about 2 weeks ago, so no joy there either. I saw a Compass program last Sunday where the program spoke of Jewish people forming organisations to resist the ongoing genocide being carried out against the Palestinian people in Gaza. During the Compass program, I noticed that some of the people were dressed in t-shirts with organisation names on them, but the camera shots didn't stay long enough on those t-shirts for me to read the names of those organisations. So I went to my computer, started an account with the ABC, and looked on iView to read the names of the progressive organisations in the Compass program. I read one organisation's name as Sydney Friends of Standing Together. I searched the internet to find an email address for them, and I found one. So I fired off an email asking whether the Sydney organisation could put me in touch with an organisation here in West Australia that I could meet with to discuss possible collaboration on a project designed to fight against anti-Semitism. Unfortunately, the next day, I got an email from the Sydney group politely brushing me off. There you go, wonderful listeners, blocked again. I was very nearly depressed enough to write the whole thing off and give up on trying to get Muslims and Jews working together on the great social injustice of the Aboriginal situation in Australia. However, I put the whole thing aside, took a nap, and when refreshed, started fighting again. The Compass program was hosted by Benjamin Law, so I searched to find how I could contact him to see if he wanted to do a story about my attempt to unite Muslims and Jews on a project which addresses anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, two subjects that mesh closely with what his Compass program addressed. I found I could submit my idea of a possible story on his website, so went ahead and did that. I doubt that I will hear back from him, so fingers crossed on that one. When I asked Boris, my AI assistant for progressive Jewish organisations in Australia, he turned up a group called Oz Jews Say No and said they can be contacted through Facebook. My searching this group gave me some hope because they wanted peace in Gaza. They were really focused on that and did public protests on how the Palestinians were being subjected to war crimes and genocide. So I found their Facebook message button and wrote a message. I said, I am launching a project that pushes back against anti-Semitism. I need a Jewish person's help to connect me with progressive Jewish organisation to join with me on a project designed to improve education for Aboriginal youth. As I am not Jewish, I am locked out from any helpful contacts. If I had your email address, I would be able to present to you more about this project. My email is blablabla.com. Please contact and assess my project for its usefulness against anti-Semitism. Trevor Nucky OAM. End of message. I must confess that after all the blocks I've received so far, I was not too hopeful of getting an email back. However, when I fired up the computer next morning, there was a reply to me on Facebook Messenger. The reply said, "Hi Trevor, we tried emailing you, but it came back undeliverable." Wow, that blew me away. I got a response, even though not complete. So I put a new message to them and it said, "Please try my personal email, blah.com. I am very happy that you are responding. End of message." So there you are, wonderful listeners. You are right up to date. I just now must wait and see if the people at Oz Say No email me on my personal email. I am ending this episode feeling excited and hopeful that I may at last be on the right track with getting Jewish representation on the Moody Scholarship Fund project. I will report on it next week. This is Trev, tuning out